Alright, I'm back with another video. First and foremost, I want to say no SNYDERVERSE, no money. Keep the movement growing because they're panicking. They're panicking, you guys. This issue with David Cornsweat's face has made it into the mainstream. So July 11th is the day that WB Studios and DC Studios, James Gunn, Peter Safran, Zatloff will be punished once again at the box office. Yes, they will be punished financially at the box office. But let's just jump into the video. So everybody is making memes about David Cornsweat's eyes, and James Gunn has responded, which is another bad idea, that there's no CGI on his face. And if that's the case, this means that James Gunn, for whatever reason, thought this shot looked good when he posted it on their YouTube page, on the company's YouTube page. So if he thought that shot looked good, which he's getting a lot of backlash about, what about the other footage in the movie? Because now it's starting to come out that David Cornsweat is cross-eyed. He's cock-eyed or lazy-eyed or whatever. And we pretty much knew this, or we had a hint of this when we first seen that suit reveal. A lot of people was complaining about the dirty suit, him putting on the boots. But another thing a lot of people noticed was something weird was going on with one of his eyes. So it's been proven now that David Cornsweat is cross-eyed. And it just makes me wonder why they're still hiding him in the trunks, because we haven't really got that footage of Superman in his full costume in action. We still haven't seen the trucks in action, and they're obviously hiding it, but eventually they're going to have to reveal it. And there's a reason why they're hiding it, because they know it sucked. They probably didn't know it sucked when it was filming, but once the storyboards and stuff started to come together, somebody looked at this and said, oh my God, this is horrible. But not only that James Gunn has came out and said that there was no CGI, there's also his shills, his YouTube shills. And you know who they are. You know, you have one YouTuber who I believe is just their do-boy. You know, he wears the logo hat, trying to explain, like in a almost 30-minute video, why David Cornsweat looked the way he looked. This guy even said it was just a win in his face. So this proves right there are WB shields, and there's one in particular that actually wears the hat, the DC logo hat, the DC Studios hat. And you already know who the biggest one is. We know Mr. Scampia. He's, you know, shouts out to John Scampia, you know, but he is a YouTube DC shill. He's trying to justify James Gunn's mediocrity by saying that it's not a lot of characters in his film. It's damn near too many characters in his film for a first Superman film. But, you know, I'm gonna leave Mr. Campia alone. But there seems to be this message that people want to see this movie fail. And it's not that people, whether they're Snyder fans or Marvel fans, want to see this fail. Is that we see mediocrity in the footage that we see. James Gunn has not produced any quality footage that warranted a reboot. There's nothing that he's shown in this Superman trailer that warrants replacing Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and the rest of the crew. So it's not that we don't want this movie to fail. We're not supporting mediocrity. And this has to be the writing on the wall, because they're actually trying to justify why you should take your hard-earned money and support James Gunn mediocrity. But we're not going to do that this time. WB Studios and DC Studios needs to be punished. And they will be punished July 11th. Because you guys forget the fact how the previous actors was treated. They treated Gal Gadot like shit. You heard the stories and the issues with Ray Fisher. You seen the manipulative shit that they pulled with Henry Cavill, having them come out and say, hey man, I'm coming back, and then a week or two later, a month later, just fire him. You seen how they did the fans with the Snyder Cut. You see how they did Zack Snyder when he was going through his tragedy. I'm not going to even bring that up because we all know what happened. So, WB Studios and James Gunn needs to fix the problem. They have a tarnished fan base and their reputation is shit because the products that they're putting out is shit. David Corn Sweat looks like shit. And they want you, the consumer, to buy into it, but we're not going to buy into it. Just because we dislike what we see, we're hoping that the movie fail. It's no doubt the movie is going to fail. Just based on what's surrounding it. They lied about the views and they was caught. You notice you don't see any ads anymore for the trailer anymore, right? They was caught. I had the evidence and other YouTubers had the evidence. They fired their marketing person the day of the teaser that came. When it came out on that day, Zaloff just sold off 30 million of his shares and didn't want to lie about it and say it's for a tax reason. There are just too many coincidences that happened when that teaser came out and when that Fandango survey came out. And I believe people, his babies, is starting to have a change of heart. Because now I'm seeing videos who people was against me, who didn't like my channel, and who was all for James Gunn, saying, no, yeah, this really looks like crap. But you still have those that like to comment on my channel, leave a bunch of paragraph on why we should support mediocrity. And we're not buying it this time. And I think John Scampia and Baba Talks, or whatever that guy is, whatever, because he seems like that's their do boy. We're not accepting that this time. WB and James Gunn is in the weakest position at this time because they desperately need for this movie to be a hit. And we're like, no, because nothing James Gunn has been putting out has been quality. Everything's been shit. And I'm not the only channel saying this. There's other YouTubers saying this. I may be a little bit more vocal and more harsh, but there's other channels saying this. I mean, if you go on Twitter, it's 10 times worse. Look at all the memes that they did. People are not feeling this. And we still haven't gotten an official trailer. You know, why is they're hiding the trunks? We haven't seen David Corn Sweat in his full uniform in action in the trailer yet. So this tells me that they're not confident and they're trying to manipulate like they always do by telling their shields on YouTube to say and try to justify why David Cornball looks weird. And we already told you this. I told you this. Grace Randolph told you this. And a lot of other YouTubers told you this. That at the end of the day, he's miscast. And that means there was no reason for James Gunn to decide to reboot. To decide to fire Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck. There was no reason for it. And it seems like his loyal babies can't accept that. I don't care whether the movie fails or succeeds, because if it succeeds, guess what? That's your mediocre universe. That's your cockeyed Superman. That's your mediocrity. It is what it is. And then you have these shills, because they're talking about us, but particular me, making videos about me, saying, oh, there's people that's really negative towards this film. We're not negative. We're being honest. As a consumer that's interested in a product, it's my responsibility to say, hey, this looks like shit. Fix this. And the only way he can fix it is restoring Zack Snyder's original vision. Until James Gunn, WB Studios, restore Zack Snyder's vision and give the fans what they want, we will not support them. And I don't care if they don't ever make any money. Because year after year after year, you will continue to flop at the box office until WB Studios and James Gunn produce something of quality that majority of the fans like. And I know his shills don't like this channel. You can call me crazy. You can call me a glazer, which I have a wife, but you can call me a Zack Snyder glazer. You can say I'm pathetic. You can say I live in my mom's basement. But you're not going to stop me from making video until we get what we want. The only thing that James Gunn needs to do is listen to the majority of the fans. He has to listen to majority of the fans, which as of right now, he's not. So since he's not, he and his studio and his buddies will face consequences at the box office. The only way this movement will stop, the only way it will stop, Zack Snyder has to come out on a public forum and tell the fans that it's completely over. That he has no interest in making his Justice League or completing his trilogy. He has to say that. But until he say that, it's no Snyderverse, no money, baby. July 11th, no Snyderverse, no money, wallets closed. But what do you guys think? Share your thoughts below and leave your dislikes as well. Do you think David Corn Sweat fixed the part based on the footage of what we've seen so far? Because obviously I don't think he does. Leave your comments below, and remember, no Snyderverse, no money, wallets closed. Peace.